Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, author of Epic Fantasy Romance. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Ah, it's so good. Today is, do we even know? It's Monday. It's Monday, April 7th. Turns out we do know. It's a good thing we have these external calendar things. How are you all doing? I am doing fine. Still tired from this stupid virus, whatever it was that I got. Um, I did a little too much over the weekend, trying to catch up with socializing with people, things that I had to cancel while I was sick, trying to get back into yoga, and I may have overdid a little bit. Um, I'm fine, just like tired. I was supposed to go out to dinner with some friends last night, and I had to bail because I was just like could not rally. But so it goes. I made really good progress on A Rose in the Mirror on Friday. Yeah, Friday. I got my 3,000 words in less than 3 hours worth of work, about two and a half. So that was great. That was really nice. I figure I've got something like 7,000 words to go. Excuse me. 76 is the official estimate. We'll see if it really takes that much. But I think that probably I'm going to be in good shape. Going to work on it today and tomorrow, maybe get it finished. And then Wednesday morning, I fly to a Polycon, which the transcript never gets right. And I should have some time. I have all day Thursday. I think I talked about this Friday. If I still need to mess with it. I also need to put together my charm bracelet thingy. So, for those of you, are any of you going to a Polycon? If you are, we're going to have super cool charm bracelets. There's a bunch of us that are going to collaborate, and we're going to have charm bracelets for sale at our tables. And then you can add charms for various books. It's going to be really fun. Um, so, I still have to put on my little lobster clasps. It's funny, it's been this whole thing about like whether you call it a lobster clasp or a parrot clasp, um, for the how the charms how you hook them onto the charm bracelet. It's intended to be removable, right? And I keep thinking like I was calling them, I think, parrot clasps, and it confused people because they're supposed to be lobster clasps. And then I tried to correct myself mentally and started calling them lobster clasps, and people said, well, do you mean parrot clasps? So I don't even know. um, yeah. So anyway, that's going to be really fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the trip. Somebody asked me if this was a fun thing for me or if it was something to get through at this stage in my career. And it's like, well, it's some of both. But the nicest thing about it is getting to see my friends, my happy friends. There's a lot of people that I see like once a year. And so it's going to be very fun to hang out with them. Um, One thing about my vastly changed circumstances as of the last, I mean, I guess it's really only been 3 weeks. I guess it hasn't been that long. I'm just impatient. Thursday, it will be 3 weeks since I came down suddenly sick with that fever on that Thursday. So, yeah, just so unusual for me to be sick like that. But and it's a mystery because nobody around me got sick. Nobody that I know of got it. So it was like a specially designed for Jeffy virus. It even occurred to me that it could be measles because there's so much measles in Texas. And I did get a skin rash, which I think was just from the high fever in the end because um, I have princess skin and it reacts to everything. Uh, but none of my symptoms matched measles. And I even, mom, pulled my vaccination record, which it feels like this is such a fraught thing in this day and age. But, like we all have our vaccination records. It's like this used to be like just a thing, and now these people are not wanting to get vaccinated and not vaccinating their children. Anyway, um, so it showed that I was vaccinated in 68, which puts me in this group. Apparently, there's this group that, like, if you were born after 59 but vaccinated before the end of 68, you got this attenuated virus. If you were born before 59, it's very likely that you got it because it was so prevalent in that population. So anyway, I got vaccinated in 68, but then I was vaccinated again in 76, probably because I have a diligent and loving mother who they probably knew by then that it was like that it had been an attenuated virus and not the most effective vaccine. So, they're telling a lot of people in our age group, if you fit in that window, that you should probably get vaccinated for measles again. But me, I should be fine, and this wasn't measles. Who knows what it was? It's a mystery. We do get accustomed to the science of it, right? Because I do recall in the past, it's like, well, you got the flu. You got some kind of flu that's going around. I did have my flu shot, but apparently it like only covers 20% of like possible strains. So yes, I tired myself out, and the wages of sin. But I'm also getting everything done on the timeline that I needed to, even with being sick. So I don't know. No regrets. Let's see. What else do I have to tell you all? I really don't feel like I have a lot. I did get all the bills paid over the weekend, got the finances caught up. It's really funny because we recently refinanced our house because we're doing this whole building the casita thing. The casita's almost done. And using my mom's money to do that, but also using some of our house money. And I don't. Did I tell you all on Friday? I bought a new car. I know. So I think I know I told you all this story of like stalling, the Jag stalling in the Whole Foods parking lot on the morning of Christmas Eve with my mother there, and the woman screaming at us with like our brown hair flying, how you can't park there. And I'm like, I am stalled, sweetheart. This is not an actual choice. Um, anyway, you should go find this. I won't tell the whole story again. But it the car does fine, and I do need to call my mechanic and see what he thinks. But I mean, but sometimes she stalls, and I have to sit there and feed her gas. And every once in a while, there's the minor stalls, but then every once in a while, there's a major stall, and I could tell it, Mom, it was just like it was in the Whole Foods parking lot that day. Um, it's just it acts like it's not getting any gas. And then there's, of course, all these very helpful people, who want to ask me questions and say, well, did you check this and check that? And it's like, yes, it just does this. My mechanic says, because we had to disconnect the computer because it's obsolete, it's a 30-year-old car, it's just not going to feed gas sometimes. So I need to talk to him about what's the practical thing to do. But I did go buy a new car. David encouraged me to use some of the money from our house refinance. And I went on last Tuesday with my friend Megan. I don't think I talked about this on Friday. Sorry if I did. My brain is still not completely there, and what's there I'm using for finishing this book. So I went to CarMax, and I said I wanted to buy a hybrid. I didn't want to buy a fully electric car, definitely not a Tesla, although it's amazing how cheap you can get them now. I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and he's always wanted a Y model Tesla, but couldn't afford it. And he said he saw one the other day that's like a brand new Tesla for like $18,000, and he said he was so tempted, uh, but can't. But so I didn't want fully electric just because I want to be able to drive at long distances and not have to worry about charging and that kind of thing. So I wanted a hybrid. They had 4 hybrid models on the lot. 2 were easy nos. I don't remember why. I think one was a Tesla and the other was like a Hyundai. And I was like, nah, I don't want a Hyundai. And the other 2 were, there was a Prius, a really nice 2023 Prius with only 7,000 miles on it. And then there was a 2013 Lexus SUV with a little shy of 100,000 miles on it. And the Prius was 35,000 and the Lexus was 18,000. And I remember this because I think it's funny that the used Tesla that my friend really wanted and my SUV were the same price. And I thought that I was going to get the Prius, but it's low to the ground and it was black, and I really didn't want black. And also, I didn't want a car payment. And then the Lexus, okay, so here's the thing. And I realize, what does this have to do with writing? I don't know. But life choices, like I have not wanted to give up my car. For those of you who don't know, who are new to any of this, I have a 1996 British Racing Green Jaguar XJS convertible. And I have had this car for almost 20 years. Bought it low mileage, paid cash for it, used. And I love this car. I love this car. I've loved this car all this time. And it's just been a pure joy to me. So every time someone has said to me, and I do have many loving, look, I even get teary about it, loving friends and family members who say, Jeffy, you need to buy a new car. And it was getting so that, like the last couple times I drove any distance, when I went to Denver, when I went to Portales, I rented a car instead of risking driving the Jag. So anyway, getting into the Lexus, it's so nice inside. I didn't think I would ever buy a Lexus. But it's super comfortable. The seats both heat and cool. It'll be easy for David to get in and out of, for my mom to get in and out of when she is here. We can like all 3 go together places, which is nice because the Jag is a 2-seater. Man and dog headed out for the walk. And it's got a sunroof, like the full sunroof, not the moonroof. And like there's wood interior that, Megan was even saying, look, it feels like the Jag. It's got a similar feel. And so I've been driving it around the last week when I've gone places. And it's, it's just been a real joy. It is nice to have a car that I don't have. I didn't realize how accustomed I'd gotten to it stalling like that. And like at a light, it would always hesitate on the startup. On my end, it looks like the video is frozen, but hopefully it's still actually going. Otherwise, you have to look at me making a goofy expression. So anyway, it's been a real pleasure to feel like I can rely on it. It drives great. It's a good vehicle. Oh, now it says that it's failing. Hardware is not sending AV data. No content is being recorded. It says this to me at other times, and we will see. It looks like we'll just keep going and see what happens. Guess I'll just keep going and we'll see. you know, I was talking for a long time about switching to Firefox, which I've done almost completely, except that Zencaster won't run on Firefox. It'll only run on Chrome, and Chrome is just being such a pain lately. I don't understand what the deal is. Yeah, it keeps saying hardware is not sending AV data, no content is being recorded. But we'll see if it'll finalize and upload at the end. I don't want to have to redo the podcast, but I know that, but I will if I have to. So let's see, what else do I have to tell you? I mean, that's been a big thing in my life, buying the new car. It felt good to be able to just write a check for it, no car payment. Um, Insurance went up a little bit, but just like $40 a month. It's not terrible. And it's funny all the reactions from people, because people keep asking me, am I keeping the Jag? And it's like, yes. And one of my friends said, please, please, please tell me you're keeping the Jag. And I said, yes. And she said, oh, thank goodness. And other people are like, really, you're keeping the Jag? And it's like, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to sell it? Can I just take it out and drive it on the highway once in a while and enjoy the convertible? I don't know what to do. I need to talk to my mechanic about it and see what options are. Somebody pointed out to me I could put a whole new engine in there, which I don't know. It's an awfully expensive paperweight at this point. So we'll see. But anyway, I do have my Lexus, which seems so fancy, but it's amazing the difference in gas mileage already, and just a really big difference in quality of life. It made a huge difference to me. So, yeah, I'm kind of getting caught up on things, and will be very happy when this book is done. Hopefully in the next couple days. I think I'm happy with the ending, the way that it's shaping up. And yeah, we'll see. And Strange Familiar's been out for a week. I did put up a post. There's been a number of people talking about using KDP. Amazon KDP is now offering an option where you can use AI, always put that in quotation marks, to make audiobooks of your books. And basically what they've done is they've ripped off the voices of audiobook narrators and used those in a melange to create an audiobook. And there have been some people going out and saying with their whole chest, well, now I can make audiobooks of my books. I hate AI, and I would never use generative AI to write my books, but I'm sure going to use this audiobook option. So for the record, I put up a post about this, but Deborah Bohm is my audiobook narrator. And yes, paying her to do my audiobooks is expensive. It's a big upfront expense for me. I don't know if I've even earned out yet on the first book. It's getting close now. The first book was the most expensive because I went through Find a Way, and it's kind of a different thing now. I contract with her directly, which is they don't get a cut of that. But yeah, I know it's expensive to hire real artists to create your stuff, but not being able to afford something has never been justification for theft, which is what using generative AI is. So, on that note, I probably will not record a podcast on Friday, unless I do something with my roommate, Jennifer Estep, or somebody else. But I always talk about doing that, and then I don't. But we'll see. Otherwise, I will talk to you all next Monday. You all take care. Bye-bye.